Several members of the middle school building committee took an in-depth tour of the Coakley Middle School earlier this week. School administration officials pointed out several flaws in the building's layout and aging condition. Originally constructed in the early 70s, CMS is approaching 50 and growing tired. While the building has served Norwood students well in that time, the building's age and wear is showing. Some of the issues that came up on the tour were teaching space, safety, and functionality.
50 weeks a year. It's the last 2 weeks of August that there's virtually no one in this building. But we have summer camps, summer programs, summer school. So this building has never gotten any downtime.
As well as the current library office is being cut in half to be a school adjustment counselor's office as well. And trying to fit teaching space and storage space for both, Stephanie, a Spanish teacher, and myself, the librarian, can get creative. Or a need to be creative because it's tricky. So
our science rooms don't work with our team-based model because they are all in the same spot, both upstairs and downstairs. Our downstairs science rooms, which we'll show you, are not full lab equipped room. They are basically 6th grade classrooms that have been adapted to the point that they can. Our ones upstairs are full science labs, but they're all in one spot. So it really sort of impacts our ability to do a team model where we can really separate out 6th grade, 7th and 8th grade, the different teams. And I can tell you that teachers work better when they are right next to each other because it lends them to be able to collaborate, work together, and work together, just be a team all together. So
the Trails Advisory Committee met Tuesday night. Norwood resident Judith Howard presented the Norwood pumping station to the committee, specifically the possibility of developing trails that would lead to Boston Skating Club. After Howard's presentation, the committee discussed an upcoming trail walk at Endine Park as well as a pumpkin contest. The Trails Advisory Committee will meet again in the coming weeks. The Cable Commission held their first meeting since June on Tuesday night. NCM Executive Director Jack Tolman briefed the Commission on NCM's latest activity as well as the current FCC ruling and funding. Representatives from both Comcast and Verizon also updated the Commission on their activities and gave their input on the FCC ruling.
The FCC is voting to change the cable franchising fee calculation rules, which is that's across the country on public access, which affects the funding. What they're trying to do is to really to change the way they use the 5%. That's the max for certain communities, and Norwood is a 5% community, and charge the in-kind benefits that we receive, such as the connections in the iNet and the local origination drops. And we were expecting a ruling on the 26th of September, but that hasn't happened yet. But I just found out this afternoon that a stay was filed, was motioned so everything's on hold. And that's all brand new to us. So we're keeping a good eye on that. There's a lot of meetings within the different communities because it could affect, the funding that we receive.
Well, other than I've read first of all, I'm not an attorney.
Okay.
I've read the ruling and order. Verizon is assessing the ruling and order, and Verizon will comply with whatever the ruling and order comes down. You mentioned earlier, Jack, the stay. I was unaware of the stay, so tomorrow I'll look into that a little bit. But again, whatever the FCC determines, Verizon will comply.
I think it's told right now, right? Yeah. But we meaning my division, legislative affairs, we had a meeting recently, last week actually, to talk about it. Our view has been that general counsel, corporate is still kind of vetting it out. So we, meaning the local guys, don't have any really thing to offer. I'm getting calls every day from different cable access, which rightfully so. Right. But really, it's kind of status quo right now.
Okay.
The next scheduled Cable Commission meeting will be November 19th. Wednesday night, the Airport Commission met and began their meeting with a project update from Jeff Adler of Du Bois & King. Adler provided 2 updates for the Commission, the first being a technical master plan and the second being the taxiway relocation project. Following the project updates, Russ McGuire, Airport Manager, provided his report to the board. The meeting ended with an executive session to discuss the ongoing litigation between the town of Norwood and Boston Executive Helicopter. The Airport Commission will meet again later this month. Later that night, the school committee was on the road to the Coakley Middle School Library. Multiple appointments were on the agenda, including Dr. Frasick and Dr. Galligan, along with Cindy Durain, to present their school improvement plans. A highlight of the evening was a presentation from some middle school students to hear their perspective on the newly added elective program in place of the previous Mustang block.
When I first heard this idea, I kind of thought I was a bit upset because I tended to do my homework during Mustang block, and unlike most people in my classes, I enjoyed reading. But then the first time I went to my video production class, I was very happy, and I was expecting less when I first walked in, and my expectations were blown away.
Stephanie West also gave a brief presentation on the new ELA committee pilot, and Dr. Wyeth gave a report on ELL staffing. The next school committee meeting will be October 23rd. For complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org.